Hi guys, my name is Callie Dompier. I will be your instructor for college algebra. This is a fully online course. You are self-paced and there are recordings of lectures, but not any time where we will be actually meeting face-to-face. So I wanted to make this video, introduce myself, and show you how I would go about the first day of class. Just navigating the Blackboard interface, the XYZ homework interface, which is where we will be doing the work for the class, the homeworks, the quizzes, and taking the exams, and then showing you how to access a web-based calculator and how to start with HonorLock, which is an extension for the Chrome browser, which will be your proctor during your exams. So you're just going to do your exams in front of your computer, but you do have to download an application that will monitor your webcam and monitor the screen of your computer. Share my screen now. I guess we'll go to the Zoom. The Zoom meeting I just started. All right. So here is desmos.com. We'll talk about it later, but this is a website. If you just type in desmos.com. It's a website that offers graphing calculators and scientific calculators within the browser. So you can use it on any Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome, anything like that. Just go to Math Tools on the main website. Graphing calculator will give you a graphing calculator. And then scientific calculator will give you that. And it's pretty nice. It's easier to look at than like a handheld calculator, I think. So the square root of 64. Is that a minus? No, I want to do divide. Look at that. It just turns it into a fraction. Isn't that nice? I like it. You are welcome to use this during exams as well. This website will be available during exams. So that's not where I was supposed to start. I got distracted. Here is our Blackboard. Under announcements, you should see the announcement that has this video, but today it is not posted yet. Every time there's an announcement, you should get a little email. And then if you come on, the first thing that should open in the Blackboard is our announcements page. After that, you have lecture notes and videos. So this just goes unit by unit. There are 4 units in our class, and it will kind of summarize the due dates. And then once you click on the unit that we are on, it will give you a PDF of the notes for the lecture. And then if you want to go back, you don't have to hit your back button. You can hit the title of the previous folder to go back. And then whether or not you download these notes and use these notes alongside me is up to you. But then you want to go to lecture videos, and then each assignment in the website XYZ homework will have a corresponding lecture. You'll click on it and it will open a YouTube link with a video of me explaining the math. Good. All right. I'm going to skip down to XYZ homework. I feel like this, we'll do lecture notes and videos, XYZ homework, and then we'll go to the syllabus, go back to do schedule and grades. So those are your lecture notes and videos. Those are your announcements, of which we have none at this moment. XYZ homework is a third-party website, so it's not within Blackboard. You don't need to come to Blackboard to access XYZ homework. You can just go straight to xyzhomework.com is the website. If you click on this first link, it will just take you to XYZ homework. You want to student sign up and then use our code. So if we go back to Blackboard, our code for this class is 41114. So you'll student sign up, and when it asks you to enroll in a new class, you'll put in that ID, and then you will have something that looks more like this when you log in. I would ask that you use your email that you check most often, because the easiest way to contact me is through xyzhomework.com, and that will be related to whatever whatever email address you use for the website. You get access for 15 days as a trial, I would recommend using the trial period and not purchasing access until the end of those 14 days or 15 days. Things just tend to like come up. And if you, in the first 2 weeks of our class, realize I have to drop this class, Carl Albert can give you a refund. If you've already paid for the XYZ homework access, you can't get that back. So I would just use the temporary access even if you plan to buy it, but it is of course up to you. All right. We are using this website and it comes with a textbook that you can buy a hard copy of if you would like. So to get access to XYZ homework, which again will look like this, to get access to this website, we're going to click on, darn it. All right, let's go back. I've done that. Maybe I can do it better this time. I didn't do it better. I did it again. All right. So you can either get an all access pass, which is just $45 a year, that includes an ebook, and then they'll have videos for various questions to give you an example of how to solve that question. So besides the lectures that are in Blackboard, you also have short videos within XYZ homework that can help you with the questions. If you would like a paperback version of our textbook, you can choose that $62 option. You get the all access pass to XYZ homework. And you also get, oh my goodness. And you also get them mailing you a paperback textbook. So that's the learning mode you prefer. You're welcome to just go to this website. When you register for class, they will give you the option of the all access pass, and you don't have to worry about that website with the picture of the book. Hold on. All right. So that is the XYZ homework. Would be how you access it through Blackboard. You're also welcome to just go to that website, cut out the Blackboard. Once you have created your account, when you get here, instead of classroom over here, it will tell you log in. So you don't need to re-sign up. You just log in the next time, and it should look like this. So you have a home, college algebra, spring 2024. That should be my name. And then here is a calendar. Today, you're watching it around the 17th. So there's nothing written for the 17th or for the 19th for that Friday. All that XYZ homework is going to show you are the due dates for the assignments. Okay. And you can make this calendar as long as you want. So we could go to like the end of the semester and you can look at all of the assignments that you have for the semester. However, there are no exams currently on this schedule because the exams are not open right now. What it's showing you right now are all the assignments that are open. The exams won't open until 4 days before the exams are due. So those will appear on XYZ homework. That's why we have a different schedule offered in Blackboard that includes the exams. Because if you just rely on this one, I guess technically you could miss the exam popping up on the 20th of February, for example, that will be due on the 23rd of February. But this will take you all the way to the end of the semester. And you can just see the pattern is usually like, so you have a homework assignment, 3.1 homework, 4.1 homework, 4.2 homework. Oh, see, I don't like this. And then this should say 4.1 to 4.2 quiz. Down here, 3.4 transformations, 3.5 transformations, 3.4, 3.5 quiz. Good? All right. If you have nothing, it's because it's spring break that week. I think these 2 days are also the Easter holiday. But here is your schedule. Hopefully we have, after an exam, you have nothing due I kind of made it a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. So if you have an exam on Monday, nothing will be due Wednesday. Something will be due Friday to give you just like a little bit of time to learn new material. So there's the calendar. What else do we have? I'm just going to go from top to bottom over here on the left side, the first tab says messages, send new message. And all it's going to offer you as a recipient is me. So you can send me a message, whatever you want to send me. And this either emailing me directly or using XYZ homework is better than the Blackboard for me. I don't check Blackboard as often as I'm able to check XYZ homework. Good. So that's send a new message to me. Also, once you're in an assignment, for example, if I go to 1.3, here you just have some introduction. This will tell you where it is in the textbook and some videos for examples. Help video ebook message instructor. And you can say, I am confused about, and it'll send it, and then I can reply that way. You can also post to forum. I would love it if people posted to forum, because this gives other people an opportunity to see the answer that is provided. If somebody posts to forum and you know the answer, you can give the answer. But this is, obviously it takes more confidence to do this, but it's more helpful to other people potentially. And it just builds more of a community, because there are no sort of like participation grades in this class. You don't need to post on the forum. We don't do any group projects, so it's hard to build community in the classroom, in the course, I should say. We don't even have a classroom. So it would be great if we could post on the forums when we had a question, and that would be a way to help each other and possibly, I guess, like, I don't know if we'd say get to know each other, but it would be super helpful. I would be excited if we got forums going this semester. So there's messages. If you wanted to just go straight to forums, the unit we're on, add new thread. And this is just like, I have a question about the schedule. Why is the exam due on Friday? You know, you can put anything you want on forums, and I will answer it. It'll be the same as an email. It'll just be visible to everyone else. After forums, we have calendar, which is just a different picture of this, and you can decide how many weeks you want it to show over here. After calendar, we have course map, which is just the bottom of that home screen. So it'll show you a more explanatory and in-depth view of what each assignment is. And then each of these will link to a mini lecture where people will do examples. Other people are doing examples of the work that you're going to do. So you've watched the lecture, you're onto the homework, but you still want to see somebody else do it. That is what the red links are. And then the blue links are the assignment itself. So that would be the course map. The course map is also basically available below on your home screen, below your calendar. See it? Same thing. After that, we have gradebook. My gradebook is not going to work because I'm not a student, but there is an explanation. I'm going to switch tabs right now over to Blackboard. There's an explanation of your grade in Blackboard. The grade for the course is coming straight from XYZ homework. So nothing is going to be entered into Blackboard. There is no Blackboard gradebook for this course. When you get to that gradebook page on XYZ homework, you could scroll all the way to the bottom. At the bottom, you'll see this table, and this tells you what each assignment type is worth. So exams for this course are worth 70% of your entire grade. I know that's a ton. Quizzes are worth 10%, and then all the homework together is worth 20%. So I want you to take that in, okay? Homework, you're not doing homework for homework's sake. You're not doing homework to get 100% of the homework answers and get 100% on the homework. You're using the homework and you're using the quizzes to prepare for the exams, because I've had students in the past who did all of their homework, who took all the quizzes, got all of those grades up to 100%, which is a ton of time and a ton of work, but then they missed an exam. If you miss each exam, okay, let's look at this. Sorry, that was like half a sentence I never finished. But if we look at this, and all the exams together are worth 70% of your grade. There are 4 exams. Yeah. I don't know if you knew that, but I'll tell you. There are 4 exams because there are 4 units. That means each exam is about 15% of your grade. So if we do just the quizzes, just the homework, our grade is 30%, okay? You're doing the homework so that you are ready for the exams. You are taking the quizzes so that you are ready for the exams. Don't miss an exam. Take the exam as early as you want in that 4-day window. Don't miss the exam, okay? Don't do the homework with an app and then try to take the exam without the app or with the app. Okay? Exams are what is important. So here's the category. And then over here in the columns, we have the column past due and attempted, and then past due and available. Past due and attempted means that, well, let's start with past due. Past due means we are counting all of the assignments that are already finished, or yeah, I guess we can say finished, right? Because even if it's late, it's already finished. I would just wish that I had done it. Okay, so if a due date has passed, we're going to fall into that first column. Okay, so at the end of the semester on May 15th, all of our points for the course should be in the past due column because everything will have been finished. All the due dates have passed. Good. So as our first due date passes, then that grade changes to whatever, if the first assignment is a homework, then your total grade changes to whatever percentage of that homework you got complete. Make sense? Okay. So your grade will only be based on the homework and the quizzes up until you take exam H. And then it will be all 3 of those categories. And then as you work ahead, because you're not going to do everything as it's due, right? You'll work before the due date, you'll work on an assignment. That is where we have past due and attempted. So what that means is it's counting all of the grades that are past due in that second column. And it's also including anything that you've started and haven't finished. Okay. Past due and available just means everything in the course. You don't at all need to worry about those last 2 columns. The only column that is actually showing your grade is the past due column. And then the only percentage that I am going to transfer over to your transcript will be the weighted total, because that includes all of the homeworks, the quizzes, and the exams. Good. So when you get to the homework page and you scroll all the way to the bottom, you should see this, and you should look at this number, and you should email me if you have concerns about that number or it doesn't make sense. It's not reflecting what you think you are doing in the course, or you don't understand how what you are doing is being reflected in that number. Okay. So the number in yellow is the important number. What else do we have? Gradebook, logout, and help. Good. So let's look at our calendar. On the 22nd, we have the first assignment due, 1.3, then 1.4, then 1.5. Okay. I did not, by the time you see this on February 2nd, if you're following along with me on your XYZ homework, you should see exam H on February 2nd. That means that there's an exam due on February 2nd. We'll go down to course map, unit 1. Oh, because I'm in student view. Darn it. All right. There is an exam H. I'm going to pause this and fix that. All right. Sorry about that. I had exam H open on the 17th, but I'm recording this on the 12th, as you can see, so I couldn't show up. So you have an exam H. That exam is due on the 2nd. Other exams won't show up until 4 days before they are due, but they'll be due on the same day that the review for that exam is due. Good. And they are also reflected in, this will be a good time to show you, the schedule on Blackboard. It's a bit small and ugly. I don't know if that's because I'm on a laptop right now or not, but this is what it looks like when I just cut and paste images. However, if you want to print it off yourself, you can also open this tab. It's the PDF of the schedule, and it will show you when exams are. So it should look exactly like the XYZ homework, but it includes the exams from the beginning, because XYZ homework cannot show you the exams if I haven't opened them, and I don't want to open them until 4 days. You'll have 4 days to complete the exam. So for example, exam 1 is on the 23rd. Exam 1 will open on the 20th at like midnight. So early morning of the 20th, you'll be able to do it at any time between the morning of the 20th and midnight on the 23rd. And then so it won't show up in XYZ homework. If we go down to the 23rd, this 23rd, it just says review, but by the 20th, you'll be able to see the exam. Okay, so there's the schedule. And then if we go down, you can scroll past the calendar on your home screen, or again, you can go to course map, either one. And you see exam H, okay? And we see that it is due on the calendar, it's due on the 2nd. It says this exam is to practice using the HonorLock application for exams. HonorLock is what's going to proctor you during the exam. Make sure that students are not using outside resources during the exams, okay? So I'm going to click on that. You can click on it anytime between now and Friday the 2nd. You can take it up to 3 times. It is a grade, and it does count towards like your grade in the course, but you can retake it. It is not to assess your math knowledge. It's only 5 or 6 questions, and it's just to make sure you feel comfortable with the HonorLock application, with opening it, having HonorLock, put in the password for this exam, being recorded correctly so that you are proctored. Okay, so I'll click on exam H. It's asking me for a password. What I need to do now is go back to Blackboard, zoom out, go to HonorLock, parentheses, exam access. Here is where you will be shown how to install HonorLock. You need to use Google Chrome because it's a Google Chrome extension, okay? And it'll take you through. If you have issues with HonorLock, you can contact the website support.honorlock.com, which should also be in the announcements for today, okay? Please feel free to contact me liberally about any questions that you have for this course. However, if it's a tech question, it would be better to direct it towards HonorLock. If it's a tech question about XYZ homework, it would be better to direct it towards XYZ homework because, excuse me, because those are third-party companies. I don't, not like run by Carl Albert. They have a dedicated team of people who help students with support questions. So that would be more effective, I would say. But anything else, please email me. Don't feel like you have to decide for yourself if you're doing something right. Feel free to reach out to make sure you feel like you're doing something right. Good. So there's HonorLock. That is how to install it. It's pretty frustrating, but once you get it, the four real exams are very straightforward. It's just setting up HonorLock and getting through that first exam. That takes a while, which is why I want to do the practice exam. It's just a practice exam in January as soon as possible so that that's done, so that you don't have to add that. Like if you do have math anxiety or you do get nervous around tests, you don't have to add on the fact that it's like a new type of proctoring of the test. All right, so we've installed HonorLock. We have 2 more tabs. One says proctoring expectations and the other says click here to access the exams. So if you click to access the exams and you're not in Safari, I'm in Safari, so this isn't going to work. Right here under this the first blue bar, you should see exam H. So what we've done is we've gone to XYZ homework, opened exam H, they've to the point where they're asking for a password, and then gone over to Blackboard, clicked on Honor Lock, and instead of Honor Lock issue right here, you should see exam H. Click on it, go through taking a picture of yourself, giving them access to your webcam, doing a little like swoop of the room. And then they will enter the password for the exam. You will start the exam. Okay. It's a lot. It's a lot. Good. All right. And then the other part of that Honor Lock tab was the part that I'm going to bring up too often, because this is the part of class that is the most problematic and has caused students the most strife in this course, okay? And it's not, I see both sides of the issue, but I cannot change the facts of the matter, okay? So Honor Lock is an application that records your screen. So just like right now, Zoom is recording my screen, but it can't do anything on my screen. That's what Honor Lock is doing. And Honor Lock has more of the screen. I think I just gave them just the browser window for Zoom. Honor Lock is looking at your screen, and then they also are looking through your webcam at you while you're taking the exam. Okay, that's what Honor Lock is, because we need somebody to proctor the exam. We need somebody to watch students to make sure we are not using outside resources. Okay, so because of this, there are expectations of the Honor Lock use. They are, I will read them. Your face and your work area in its entirety must be visible for the duration of the test. If not, the grade for the test will be a 0 because it's unproctored. And I'm not going to try to decide who is cheating. I'm not going to try to accuse anyone of cheating. It's just a matter of equity. My job is to make sure that you learn the math and to assess that you've learned the math. I can't assess that somebody learned the math if I can't see their hands during the exam. You know, we all have phones. We all know the apps that can do this math for us. But I don't think Carl Albert State College wants you to pay them to then use an app to get through the class, right? And like the idea of college isn't to use an app to get through the class. Anyway, I don't need to go down that. I don't need to go down that road. So face and work area has to be visible for the duration of the exam. Otherwise, I'm just going to say this exam is a 0. I'm not going to say you're cheating. I'm just going to say it was unproctored, okay? And I don't even need to say you. I can say a student. If a student's face and work area was not visible for the duration of the exam, it's just going to be an unproctored exam. That exam grade is a 0. This is another reason why I'm asking you to take exam H, because then I can look at the video of exam H and let you know that was perfect. Just do that every time. You have nothing to worry about. Or I can say, if you record your screen, if you record your webcam this way in exam 1, that's going to be a 0 for exam 1. Okay, so it gives us information about the expectations. At the end of the exam, you have to email scratch paper for your questions in order to receive credit for the exam. It says all questions. I don't mean all questions. All questions that you did have to use paper for. Okay. If you visit a website outside of the exam page or the website desmos.com, the exam will be a 0 because that's cheating. I mean, if your page refreshes your email or something, that's fine. But if you're Googling answers to the math questions, we're going to mark that a 0. Yeah, if you use a phone or a second computer, the exam will be marked as a 0. So you can use your scratch paper, you can use a note card of notes that you wrote, and you can use a calculator, and you can use desmos.com always, okay? Those are the Honor Lock proctoring expectations. I'm going to now switch to my stop share. I'm now going to stop share, and I'm going to show you how I would set this up. And this is what I mean by I know I can feel your I can feel previous students' annoyances with like me giving them 0s in situations, because this is an obnoxious thing to do, but it's just like the trade-off for not going to class. We have to have a space where somebody can proctor you. So what I would do, I'm on a little laptop right now. I'm going to just shove it as far as I can out in front of me. Throw other stuff on the ground. You can have, see, it's really hard. You can have other things in your view. You can drink water. You can have a fidget spinner. You can have a mouse. I don't care what's in view. What I'm worried about is that you don't, like right now, you can't see my hand, and just randomly, my phone was right there, right? So I could be like, just no questions of that. Calculators are fine. The website Desmos is fine. Just make it, you're writing it down. I don't need to see what you're writing down. I just need to see that your hands are in view of the camera, okay? Obviously, they'll go out of view when you are entering your answer. I'm not trying to make this super tricky and difficult and catch you. You know, I'm not trying to catch anyone on a technicality. So that's what, just to reiterate, this is a grade that will stand. This, even I'm not cheating, exact same situation. I still just have my paper and my calculator. My phone's way over there. I'm not, you can kind of tell that my hands are staying right here, and you can tell that there's no phone here, but I can't see my hands. So this is a 0. Good. There's no getting around this. If I can't see your hands, I'm going to mark the exam as 0. There's nothing. I hope that that's clear and that it doesn't disappoint people as we move forward. So you're going to read that a lot. Like, I think it's an exam question on all the exams. It comes up a lot. All right, let's keep going through. I think that I don't have anything else to. Let's keep going through our Blackboard. So those are the proctoring expectations, and that is why we have such serious proctoring expectations. That's how to get on Honor Lock. And again, just give yourself time to get Honor Lock figured out before February 2nd. It's not anything I want people to like rush through, and it's not academic at all. So it can be frustrating to spend this much time on something. If you're struggling, email me or email support or reach out to support. It's not even an email. They'll chat with you, talk you through it. support.honorlock.com. Because don't waste hours of your time. I don't want you to waste hours of your time on this. You need a webcam, and you need to be able to use Chrome and download the Honor Lock extension and take exam E. If you can't do that, I think a student would have to drop the course. All right, so we covered Honor Lock. We covered XYZ homework. We covered lecture notes and videos, and announcements will just be as needed, okay? Schedule we looked at. My grade we looked at. My instructor, it just gives my email. If, I think you can, I mean, I know you can email me through Blackboard. I check email more often than Blackboard. I check XYZ homework more often than Blackboard. Here's the order: email, then XYZ homework, then Blackboard. It's an urgent, if you want to be efficient. Tutoring is just the link to tutor.com, which is a free account. So Carl Albert is paying for you to have access to tutor.com for any of your classes. Please use it. Then the syllabus. Concourse just means the syllabus, but in online. I need help would just be generic, like Carl Albert help. And then online learning frequently asked questions. So in the syllabus, it says note the highlighted portions. It just means like you can skim the syllabus if you want. I mean, I'm not telling you to skim the syllabus, but I understand. And I highlighted the important parts. All right. And we'll just go over them now. And then, you know, that's the same thing you would have read if you'd skimmed the syllabus. It's a fully online course. You're working at your own pace, but don't forget the due dates. Okay. You're communicating with me via email. When you write me an email, please put your the name college algebra in the subject line so that I can find you faster. I would love if you use the forum to ask questions in the course because it generates community and discussion and definitely 100% helps other people. I guarantee you that if you have a question in this class, somebody else has the same question in this class and you will be helping them if you publicly ask the question, right? It's college. We know that. But email me about anything, and then messages in XYZ homework to email about a specific problem. Obviously get into the problem and just say, message my instructor, because then it will do it for you. You don't have to cut and paste any information. Here is how you get to the textbook, right? Which was all online. You're just going to xyz.homework.com, or if you want to go directly to the textbook, xyztextbooks.com. And then this is the book name, so I would just follow the link. But you can do it all through xyzhomework.com if you're not getting the paperback book. Scientific calculator. You can use a scientific calculator. You can use a graphing calculator. If you don't already have one of those, I would recommend, and you're not taking other classes that will eventually need a graphing or scientific calculator, I would recommend just getting comfortable with Desmos.com because they have a calculator. It's free, and you have access to that on the exam days. And some examples in this course will be using Desmos.com. So honestly, there are a lot of questions that can be answered in Desmos.com by just graphing the information they give you. And it's a good calculator. Some calculators, it's not as intuitive as Desmos in entering information. So I would just get comfortable with Desmos.com. There you have a scientific calculator and a graphing calculator. Each homework assignment has a corresponding lecture video on Blackboard. You can watch it how you like before the homework, as you do the homework. Please prepare to average at least 3 hours a week on the homework. Don't rely overly on apps or the internet. Of course, you can Google things you don't understand. You can watch other people's videos besides mine and XYZ homeworks. But if you are just using an app or just using Google, a student who did that would likely be unprepared for the exams. All right, quizzes are exam-like questions. So your homework, honestly, if you just got like 80% on all of the homeworks, you just did the first 80% of the homework questions, you're probably good. Doing like the very last questions that are a little bit more difficult, a little bit more multi-step, isn't going to benefit you as much as doing the doing the quizzes without outside assistance. So the quizzes are going to reflect the questions on the exam, and the exam is worth way more than the homework, right? So we want to focus on exams. The way that we focus on exams is by taking the quizzes, doing the quizzes 3 times because they'll generate a different type or style of the same question each time. So taking each quiz 3 times, and at least one of those times doing it under exam-like conditions, which means you're pretending like you're taking the exam. Okay, then you'll be ready. You'll do great on the exams. There are 4 exams. You can use a calculator, you can use scratch paper, and you can have a 3x5 note card of notes, write whatever you want on those notes. But your exam must be proctored and your shown work must be emailed to me after the exam. So remember, I was sitting there. I was taking notes. And the way I'm taking notes is, okay, the first problem, I had to do this, right? So it's kind of like, if somebody else looked at my paper, they'd be like, this corresponds with question 1. This corresponds with question 2. I don't mind if I don't see shown work for every question. You don't need to explain to me what you're doing if you didn't need to write it down. I'm trying to think of, I appreciate it when people go out of their way to over-explain what they're doing on the test and to map out their shown work, but you absolutely do not need to. You do not need to have a piece of handwriting for each question a lot of it can be done on a calculator. So that being said, sorry. So I've just written it down. I've made sure that I've numbered my scratch paper. And then after my exam, I'm just going to take a picture with my phone, or I'm going to scan it, and then I'm going to email it to crdompier@carlalbert.com. Oh, this is what I was half thinking the whole time. And then when I get that paper, I'm going to look at your exam in XYZ homework. I'm going to look at that paper, and I'm going to give you partial credit when possible. So the paper is not going to ever lose you points. It's not going to lower your exam grade, but hopefully it raises your exam grade, because I'm watching each step that you do and how, where you made the mistake if you didn't get full credit, or that you wrote it down correctly here and you didn't type it in correctly. Okay, so that's to help you, not just to verify that you did your own work, but to help get partial credit for exam questions that may have been missed because it's a computer. It's not a human grading you, right? All right, so back to that. A 3x5 note card of notes. You can write whatever you want on those notes. So I'm skipping down here. In order for exam grades to count, your exam must be proctored and your shown work must be emailed to me upon the completion of the exam. If I don't get that email, I'm going to override the grade to a 0. Okay. Refer to the honor lock expectations portion of Blackboard to ensure your workspace and camera angle meet the criteria for successful proctoring. And now I'm going to jump back up here. There is an optional final exam. So I said there were 4 units in the course, and there are 4 exams, 1 exam for each unit. There's an optional final exam. If we go back to schedule, at the bottom, we have exam 4 is due on May 13th. And then on May 15th is something called optional, like talking over myself, optional final exam. Good. So optional means you do not have to take the final exam. Please note that during finals week, there is an exam that is due that is definitely part of your grade, and that is exam 4. Exam 4 is 100% a part of your grade. You have to take it. You are welcome to take it on the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, or the 13th. Any of those days you can take it. The final exam, if we go back here, is if you have completed you've completed the semester, you've completed the 4 units, you've completed the 4 exams, you are thinking about, a comprehensive final exam. That's going to go from the very first lesson to the very last lesson. Do I remember a lot of the whole course? Do I want my grade to be a bit higher than it is right now? And do I think that I can get a better grade on the optional final exam than I have on one of these 4 exams that I've already completed? If so, you take the final exam, you email me, please, that you took the final exam, because we're getting down to the last days of class and I don't want to miss it if somebody takes the final exam. You take the final exam, you notice that that grade is higher than one of the 4 grades from your 4 unit tests, and I go in and I replace your lowest exam grade with the optional final exam grade, okay? That's the only reason to take the final, or if you just like taking tests. If you do not take the final exam, it will not impact your grade. Just like if you, for all of the exams, there's a short exam review and then there's a optional comprehensive exam review. The optional, anytime assignment is listed as optional in XYZ homework, it is not for a grade. Optional comprehensive review. Because it says the word optional, it means we do not have to, there's no grade associated with that in the grade book. You are just getting ready for exam 1. Good. So that's the optional final exam. Also, just something I randomly remembered. You have, so if you look at these assignments, late pass allowed. You are given 10 late passes in this class. A late pass will extend the due date of an assignment by 1 week. So this is due on the 22nd of January. If the 22nd passes and I didn't finish it, I didn't get it as finished as I want it to get, I apply a late pass, and then my due date is 1 week later than the 22nd. Does that make sense? You have 10 late passes in the class, and you are using them to move due dates forward so that you can make up anything that you forgot to do or ran out of time to do. Good? That was just a random thing I forgot. All right. The grade is calculated on the XYZ homework platform, so no grades are in Blackboard. You post a forum to help with a specific problem. There is no step for submitting homework in XYZ homework. You just complete it, and then the day the work is due, you lose access to the homework, and then the past due grade column reflects the amount of work completed in that assignment. Good? Do contact me if you have any issues. Quizzes can be taken 3 times. The highest score will be saved. I'm very repetitive in this syllabus. We have 4 exams. The exams open at midnight 4 days before the due date, like 4 school days, and then are due by 11:59 on the day that they are listed on the calendar as due. Exams are password protected, so you have to use HonorLock to input the password so that you can take the exam. We use HonorLock through the HonorLock tab in Blackboard. Use the PDF explaining how to download and use HonorLock. And then you would use the click here for exam button to access HonorLock for each of the exams. HonorLock requires Chrome. Please send your shown work. And if you don't, the grade will be a 0. So here's what you can use: a calculator, a writing utensil, and a 3x5 note card of notes. Using any website besides Desmos or using your phone or anyone else's phone will cause the assignment to be a 0. If you miss the exam, it's a 0. And I would just strongly encourage you to get comfortable with HonorLock before the first exam. I think that is it, guys. So, is that everything? Did I cover everything? Let's go back. Email me if you feel like you have more questions about this. And if you have math questions and I'm explaining them, like typing stuff out, if you want me to make you a math video and just email it to you, I'm always happy to do that. Good. So thank you guys so much. I wish you excellent success in this course. Please email me just like a little hello so that we can get to know each other, and I hope that you have a wonderful week. All right.